I'm so excited. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, me too. I love
I'm
the
so
topic.
nervous. I'm so nervous, but I'm like,
You got
it's
this.
gonna be good.
Yeah, you got this.
Well, that's like my main struggle right now. And I was like, okay, what do I do my first class on? Okay, what you struggle with, and then everyone else can,
Yeah.
help with it. Yeah.
If you just do it for yourself, it'll resonate.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's the thing is that we're all kind of a collective. So, at the end of the day, it's we all kind of, but I think the worthiness thing is like, or I'm good enough is like, since we were kids,
Mm, yeah,
like the parentals,
absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
I'm so excited. I was like, people are signed up. I'm all, people are signing up for my class. So exciting. Hey, Mary's here. And yeah, so I'm so excited the sun was out today because I was like, we have very many windows, but it's, can be very, it doesn't look very dreary, but like having all the windows is pretty cool and being open. Hi, Mary. Like a little Christmas
Hello.
tree.
I know I finally took my big tree down today, so I'm like, I'll leave this one up till like the end of the day and then I'll put it away.
We actually got a real Christmas tree this year for the first time, and it was awesome because we were able to burn it in our fire pit. So it was like before I was like, where am I going to put this tree? And then now it's like it burned so fast. Very dry. Because we use the heaters in here. It's just so much. It just like sucked the life. Roxanne, mommy is on a call. Okay. Say hello. I gotta give her the pet so she can. You good? No. She's 15 and a half. You want to be a part of the tapping? No. She said no. Okay. All right. She's so funny. Yes, so I'm just gonna give it a few minutes just so people can. I think I had about 10 sign up, so I know that a few other people are gonna roll in, but how is everyone doing today so far?
Right.
Then all right. The sun is
Yeah.
shining here for now.
I was hoping to get up earlier, but whatever. I slept late.
I think we all sometimes hope to wake up earlier. It's like we won't do it. Yeah, we had we're getting a lot of rain here. I know, Mary, you live the snow where you are. Okay, how's Texas, Amy?
It's so weird. It's like 60-degree swings. It went
Yeah,
from like
you said it was
14
like
to
70
70.
and then it went down to like 18 at night or
Mhm.
something like that.
It went from 14 to 70. It was crazy.
What? Texas is so weird.
Yeah,
Like, I've only
very
been there
cool.
one time, but my sister lives there. But yeah, Texas is so weird. And I saw that too. And I had another friend that's from there too. And she was like, yeah, it's supposed to freeze. And it never freezes here. And I was like, how is that even? It's like, wasn't last year you guys had that weird snow too? Was that last year?
I think we had snow last year. The year before that, I think it
Oh
was
yeah.
2021 was when we had that freeze where a lot of people lost electricity and water for like a week.
Yeah, yeah. It was
That's why I don't live there.
Mother Nature, right? She's like, well, today's the day.
Well, I'm manifesting a new job in California.
Yeah, do
Ooh.
it. Yes. Oh my gosh. If you come here, that'd be awesome. Where do you want to go over here?
I'll take anywhere.
You're like, where it's not 70 and 18 at night. I don't know. My thing is I lived here my entire life. He's from West Virginia, so he dealt with, like the humidity. But I went to Texas one time. I stepped off the plane. I was like, I am drowning in my own breath. Is it in Pennsylvania? You're in Pennsylvania, right, Mary? Is it wet over there too?
Yeah, it's pretty humid here.
Yeah.
Like the last few years, I feel like have been the worst. It just like the hotter it gets, the more humid it gets, and it's never fun. I don't remember it being humid like that, like growing up, but
Yeah.
now it's like there's some times where it just feels unbearable. Like you walk outside and you're like trying to catch your breath. It's yeah,
But you're drowning
yeah.
on the moisture. Yeah, that was the one thing I liked about being dry, because I know, Alana, you're here in California too. So you live, yeah, I think you live like 4 hours from me. Think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Sonoma County.
Sonoma, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably a
so
few
Where's that
hours
at?
from you. And yeah, it's where we've had a lot of stormy weather,
yeah.
over the last few days. So yeah, it's just cold and rainy out
It's
today.
like raining and then it's like the sun's out. And for us in the RV, it's like it's really cold and then the sun gets on it. Let's look. I'm like, oh, okay. So
I've been noticing like it's been like right now it's sunny and nice, and I didn't expect it to be because it says it's supposed to rain, and it has been raining. And
yeah,
I
like last
noticed,
night it was raining.
and I feel like it's gonna happen. I think it's supposed to rain again, so I'm assuming it's gonna
Yeah,
rain at
tonight
night.
it's supposed to rain again. I'm like, can we just have it like at night when we're sleeping? Let it rain, and then we wake up, there's the sun. So we can have a balance of vitamin D and also, not having a total drought.
Yeah,
California again. That was wild. We got so much rain last year that like everything was so dry that it just didn't even. It was like what it's like. Oh, you want all the rain, and the rain's like, oh,
Soaked it all up.
soaked it all up. So, oh god,
I remember it was flooding here too. Well,
yeah,
because
it was flooding. Yeah, it
don't
was
clean
flooding. All of our rivers got all. It was nuts.
they don't clean the
You know.
drains.
So and now like the rivers are dry.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, all right. So I am going to start this class. Experience. Sorry, I'm not calling these classes. They are experiences. I don't like the word class. I feel like it's not very me. I am not. Not that I'm not classy. I just feel like what I provide is more of an experience due to me being so authentic and being very what do you call it? Intuitive about how I do things. Which is why Gala Dolly method. But so I wanted to call these things, even though the things I have here, I'm calling them experiences. So that when you come, there's like community, there's also you get, some information, but you also get to experience EFT with others and stuff like that through me. Because my dream is to literally be in front of 1,000 people, having them tap it out while I'm, making them all, you know, with my gloriousness. So I would like a raise of hands of anyone who has dealt with or continues to deal with feeling like they're not good enough. That's everyone here. And I think the biggest thing, and I was on High Vibe Honey today, live, finally. And one of the things she said in there, and it has been coming up for me, is that we have this story that we're not good enough, whether we've accomplished big things or small things or whatever. And it comes down to the boiling down is that someone else taught us that we're not good enough. I say this to everyone. We roll out of the vagina these sweet little babies that are just like, wee, like we're crying, we're happy, or whatever. And we don't even think for 1 second that we're not worthy of living the life or, screaming for the teat or whatever else we're doing. Like, I mean, like that is literally taught onto us. And I've even noticed that when people have, hi guys, when people have even like good parents, like for instance, some people have parents that will, encourage them to be themselves, but then they watch their parents not be themselves or not feel good, right? So their parents are like, you're amazing. You can do anything, but I can't do anything at all. And we're as kid going, wait, which lane do I pick? Where am I at? What am I doing? And we just keep watching this stuff. And then there's us with parents who are like, you're not good enough. That's that. you know, and it's just a whole thing that just has made such an, is epidemic the right word? Epidemic?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that I'm gonna say it. Epidemic. What made it such a thing, that as we get older and older, we start looking at situations and things, you know, oh, here, I'm gonna mute. Let me see here. I mute all. I'm so new to this. Participants. Mute. Because then I'll have people unmute themselves if they talk. So did I mute myself? Okay. Oh my God, I don't even know this. So you know, as we get older, we start like being, as kids, we're like, we're not that bad, but then someone's like, oh, you did that wrong. Oh, you did that wrong. And we're like, oh, okay. Well, if adults telling me or someone's telling me or this person's telling me, then, what do I know? I'm a kid. And so you start to believe these things. And so we start going through life, we start going through things, and we start accomplishing things or living. We start growing, our bodies start growing, our minds start growing. We start doing this. But as we do that, all the outside influences, everything that we learn and are taught in school or parents or whatever, just is just constantly bombarding us, giving us information. And, our brains are trying to go through with what's going on. And it's like, as time goes on, we get more and more fear. And that childlike innocence that we have starts to get more and more diminished. As perfect example for Larry. He used to dance all the time, and he can't remember what he said. You say can't remember like when, but someone must have told him you dance goofy or something like that, and he doesn't even remember. But he stopped dancing until he met me. And even then, after that, for a little bit, we had to go to an event, and he was like, okay, I'm just going to dance. And now he dances all the time. But when he was a kid, he danced all the time. He was like, hell yeah, let's dance. So it's like the process of EFT with retraining the brain is now he dances now. And this was something he didn't really realize, but was taken away from him in a way of not even on his conscious level. And so the bare bones thing of feeling that I am not worthy is something that is unfortunately ingrained in every single one of us. I don't think I've met so many people in my 42 years on this earth, and I don't think I've met a single person who does not have at least a small degree inside of them that feels like they're unworthy. And which means you are not alone in feeling like you're unworthy. You are not alone in feeling like you are not enough, because everyone deals with it. And I even know people who seem to have the most confidence still struggle with these things. The difference between them and some of us, or whatever, is the choice to do something about it. As an adult, we are free of our parents, of school. Some of us, some of us choose to go to college or whatever, but it's still different. You can still not show up. You can be like, goodbye. And stuff like that. And the difference that we have now is that we have ways of retraining these old beliefs inside of us, to become, to basically dismantle them at the core, which the Matrix has done to us. So for me right now, I am living in a place that my intuition told me, hell yes, go here. Yes. I'm like, okay, cool. But I get here and I have been, I mean, the whole process of getting here and being here, I have been completely debilitated by fear, completely debilitated by stuff that I have. For instance, I bought these cardigans, and for almost a month and a half thought they were these other cardigans. I realized yesterday it was not the same cardigan, and I have had, it was wild. And these are the things that happen when you try to make changes, which a lot of us give up. And through this journey, I've always kind of known, but the biggest thing that's come up to me is that I'm like, why can't I get where I'm going? Like, why do I feel this way? Why does this? Because there's this deep seated belief, again, that is not mine, that I am not enough. That no matter what I do, no matter what decisions I make, even though I've made the decisions and my life is a completely 180 than it was last year, a complete 180, there's still this belief in me that's I've been working on digging out, that it's just not good enough. And when you think about it, it's like, why can't I exercise? Or why can't I stop smoking? Or why can't I do these things that seem so easy? If you get underneath all of the layers, all of it, if you get underneath all of it, there is the core belief that I am flawed, I am not good enough, and therefore it doesn't matter what I do, it's not going to work. It doesn't matter how many books I read. It doesn't matter how many things I do. It doesn't matter if I eat fruit every day for the next 6 years or whatever, which is why changing your beliefs is such, the identity that's in you is such a big part of getting what you want. And when you see these people that we admire, somebody's in here, we admire Gala, or we see people like RuPaul, or we see athletes, or we see these things, we see these people doing all these things. It's like we feel kind of like, what do they have that we don't? And they don't have anything that we don't. Some people might have some less trauma than us. Some people might not have dealt with certain things that we do. But at the end of the day, we all have the ability and the choice to change what is going on. And that starts with identifying beliefs that are not even ours. They're not even ours. And we hold on to them because we feel like, if we don't, who are we? It's like, oh, my dad's gonna hate me, or oh, this is gonna happen, and this is gonna happen. I drown in it. And I've just been daily, constantly just retraining the brain, retraining the brain. But I feel like I made this class on the enough thing, because I feel like that is a core thing. I feel like some of the habits and some of the things that we do up here kind of grow off of the I'm not good enough tree. Does anyone else kind of agree with that? Like, there's a tree, here's these things, and here's the stem. The root is I'm not good enough. So we still try. And that's a beautiful thing, is you keep going. A lot of us here in this class right now, in this experience, I'm gonna learn this. In this experience, they are actively trying to live the life that they want to live. You want to live the life that you want to live. You know that it's possible. Something inside of you, whether it's your gut or your heart, or whatever, is telling you this is possible. I can do this. I don't know how, but I can do this. What do I need to do to get to there? And it being one of my biggest things, it's really awesome to have the knowledge that I do have a choice. Having a choice is scary. You cannot put it on anyone else. So you have to be like, oh crap, I'm the one doing it. But the beauty of that is that you are in charge of yourself. You are in charge of who you are and what you're doing. And if you fail, you fail. Yeah. But I mean, that means you can pick yourself right the fuck back up. You don't have to wait for someone else to come give you a hand and be like, oh, get back up. No, you can pick yourself back up, right back up into it and being able to just do what you want to do. And as I say, this being a core root thing, I wanted to do the class on this so that I could tap on it and that you guys could tap on it, because it's such a hardcore thing that I think sometimes we forget is such a core, when we're like, oh, why am I failing at this job? Why am I failing at this habit that I'm trying to do? Or why am I failing at this stuff? And I think it's important to sometimes just be like, maybe it's just something really big. And I feel like if we could get to the core roots and pull those, that's where you can start snipping the other ones, just being like, just snipping them right off. And a perfect example of this, as I'm going to probably say for the rest of my life, is the core belief that I had that I was bipolar. I had it for 22 years. I would literally be like, hi, my name is Virginia. I'm bipolar. Like, I wouldn't say anything else. It was very wild. Hi, I have this, or, whatever. And so I continued to live like this. This was the identity that I lived. And it was very solid. I mean, to my core solid. Like, I didn't eat certain things. I didn't do certain things. I took medications. I did this and this and this and this, all this stuff to, because I'm bipolar. And I've seen things where people have like cured it. I've some people will be like, I did the longest mushroom trip, but now my bipolar is gone forever. And I was like, yeah, I feel like these things happen. People can go into the brain and stuff like that. It just wasn't something that I, had considered or whatever. So I'm just living my life, and then I found tapping. And I started tapping. I think I started tapping on self-worth. I follow galas, a lot of gala stuff, and being like, yeah, self-worth and whatever. And I was like, you know what? I want to try this on my bipolar. So I started, tapping on the bipolar. I'm not bipolar. And then as I got deeper into that, I realized that the bipolar came from trauma. It came from something that happened to me when I was a teenager. And it activated whatever. Now, I feel like trauma can activate anything. It can activate even the low self-worth, because the traumatic of being told you're not worthy right there puts the belief into here. So I think it was 2023, about May, I went and did something that I would never consider doing. And I went home and I was prepared to get bipolar sick like I usually did, and I didn't. And I was like, what is a sorcery? And so I was like, okay. So I started noticing more and more stuff. Noticing the bipolar was gone. So the bipolar, the belief, the bipolar was gone. And by getting rid of that huge root, I was able to start snipping smaller roots. One of them was having to be on medication for my entire life. I'm a full-blown believer in medication. People with postpartum, people who have stuff like I'm full-blown that it works. And I used it for years because it worked for me. But the truth was since the bipolar was gone, I didn't need it anymore. But I could never even consider not even taking meds. Like that was weird. But when I got rid of the root, I was able to start doing that. And now, for the first time in 22 years, I'm completely off every psychic medication I've ever taken. I am completely, it is a road, but through that, I was able to do something that was a complete and total non-negotiable. And that's why I think that getting to the roots of something sometimes is good to open up the door to get everything else that you want. And the belief that I am not good enough is one that runs so deep into us that sometimes we don't even realize that that's what's running the show. And I didn't really realize that either until I came here. And I had a kind of an idea, and I'm in here losing my mind, and I'm like, what is it? And all of a sudden it's like, it just screamed in my head, you're not good enough to do this. You're just not. And I'm like, well. Thank you for the lesson. I'm going to work on that or whatever. So I would like to see if anybody would like to share anything. You don't have to. No one has to share anything. But what is something that you not feeling worthy is preventing you from doing? You have to unmute yourself if you would like to talk. Anyone?
I'll go,
Okay.
obviously. So the two that I'm sure everyone goes through is career, money, having enough wealth to be on my own. And the other one is love. I've never had a girlfriend. I've been with girls and done stuff with them, but I've
Never the
never,
love.
huh?
Never the love, or yeah, that's one. Sorry. Good.
Yeah, unhealthy body too. I like that one. But anyway, so with I used to be overweight too. I'm still out of shape, but yeah, just tick that box as well. Just
You got it, Amy.
but with love, like just never. Well, two things. Missing chances, but also the chances I did get, I would just freeze up. Like I can talk to women, kinda, I think, but like as soon as it goes from casual friendship, friendly, positive, like trying to muster like as soon as I say, ask her out and try to muster the courage, a lot of the times it just goes south, and then I just have trouble getting over it. Then I wallow.
Yeah, I think with that too is I think what we put out too, if we don't believe that we're worthy, then it's hard for someone else to believe that we're worthy at the same time. And so I feel like, that gets in the way of a lot of things, relationships, money, healthy bodies, and stuff like that, where we want something so bad. We put ourselves out there, we do this stuff, and then we fail, or we have rejection, or we have any of these things, and they become adding on to the root, adding on to the tree, like someone's hanging little things on the tree that we have. Yep, or settling for less.
Oh, she's on
Yeah,
fire.
yeah, yeah. Like,
Oh, the other thing I wanted to tell you before I forget, I think I mentioned it before, but like, I think we talked about how like slow I am, and I've kind of come to the realization that it's all that trauma that weighs me down. So because like specifically work, um, they like I would take forever to do a job, and like I'm doing it my best. Like I'm looking in myself, going like, how am I would at first anyway, I was being really hard on myself, and then I think when I was the last one we did, or I think it was at New Moon Vibe, I like we did that and integrated, and then I went to work yeah, Monday and Friday, and I was like I thought I was behind, and a little, maybe a little bit, but then all of a sudden like I get done super early, and I was like I didn't know what to do.
Because my
So
tapping releases the soul.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it went
Yeah.
out, and there it's like it was like I had a ball and chain, or I have many balls and chains, and then one of them came off, and I it made a difference. I know I'm exaggerating, but you get the idea.
No, no, no. You're not at all. And I'm gonna touch on this right now. Is that is the thing, balls and chains, or you want to say chains, or you want to say weights or whatever. And that is what all the trauma, all the old stories. Yeah, I love the metaphor too, right? I mean, literally ball and chain. Like that is what weighs us down. And for me, my bipolar, that trauma, that stuff right there kept me literally stuck for 21 years, literally stuck in this same like orb, right? And then I get rid of it. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, here I was like, this is the mountain. I'm like, here in like a year's time after 22 years of nothing. So it makes total sense that if something that we tapped out, it hit somewhere in there, that dropped off, that branch or that weed got or whatever removed from you, then you started to accelerate at a higher speed.
Yeah.
And I think all of us have dealt with that as a higher speed, especially since I think everyone in here taps. Yes, as far as I can, yeah, Sam's tapped. Everyone in here's tapped. And you've noticed since that happens, when things fall off, you start, even if it's a slow progress, you start to go forward. Things start momenting. And that right there is something to think about of like, okay, if this is, you know, our a way of just shedding, what could I do if I just continue to shed these old beliefs? Like, I think Ella said something about like, oh, what was it? Oh yeah, RuPaul didn't even start Drag Race till he was 49 years old, and this guy is like, you know what I mean? Like Louise Hay didn't start her stuff until she was 45 or whatever. We always think that we don't have enough time, but I think a lot of us are waking up at a certain time, and it's like, it doesn't matter when we wake up. It doesn't matter when we do that. It's about wanting it and going forward. And just hearing that you like, because I know you were talking about how you're like, I feel like I'm slow. The fact that you're like, I'm done, but it was obviously something that was not even that what you were doing it had nothing to do with you. It had to do with something that was put on you or external. And the minute that you made the decision to release it,
Hmm.
things just started. I love it. Anyone else want to
And
share? If not, that's totally fine. I just, used
I'll
to talking
share.
to people. You want to share? All
Sure.
right.
I think for me, my big thing now is like shifting into doing stuff with my own business, wanting to do more coaching and things like that. Um, there's a big chunk of me that like doesn't feel worthy to do that because like growing up, it was always like you can do anything you want. And then when I, kind of said, "Oh, I want to be a makeup artist," then it was like, "Oh, you can't do that because
That.
that's not like a real job."
Oh my God.
It was like it's not secure. You should do something that like teaching or healthcare, something that's like always going to be there. And I know some of that was looking at it from like a safety perspective, like, trying to make sure that I was taken care of and everything. But at the same time, it like killed my dreams of wanting to do what I wanted to do. So then I had to find like a backup of like, okay, well, that's what I really want to do, but what can I like live with doing? And so then it took me a while to figure that out. And when I finally did, like now I have a job. And when I finally did, like now I have a job, I'm a speech therapist and I love that. But I know that's not like my ultimate calling. And I enjoy helping people, but that's not the way I necessarily want to help people. Now, I think it's given me a good base for like where I could go in the future. I want to help people get to, their goals and transform their lives and things like that. So, but at the same time, like every step I take forward to that, I always hear this in the back of my mind, like, you can't do that. Like, that's not safe. That's not a safe choice. So it holds me back. And then I feel like I know I can do it. I know I have the skills to do it, but it makes me feel like, oh, but can you really? Like, should you really put that out there? Should you try it? And it's just that like nagging voice in the back of your head that's like constantly pulling like one step forward, two steps back kind of thing where
Yes,
I'm
and
just
that
in this like
stems
limbo place. Yeah.
from I'm not good enough, because if I was, then my parents would have been like, yeah, you could be a makeup artist.
Mhm.
Instead of being, and that is where everything goes, where we are literally so just, caught in, the thing of why are you telling me that I can when I can't? And so, the childhood is a crazy thing. But the beauty about it being a childhood is that you're not there anymore. And you have an inner child that you can love and take care of and reparent. I guess in the best way, in letting, and the biggest thing I've been doing with my inner child and stuff like that, when she'll come up to me, like, I'm very visual. She'll come up to me and she'd be like, we can do this. And I'd be like, yeah. And she's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. And I just did this breath work with this girl named Fern, and she's having this thing later. But when we're doing the breath work, and she's like, talk to your inner child. She's like, are you okay talking to your inner child? I was like, yeah, that's fine. And I just talked to her in there. And while I was in there doing some healing, and I literally looked at her and was like, you are safe now. I've got you. I've got you. Not that parent that raised us. None of them. None of them. I've got you. Me, the makeup artist, or whoever else you guys want to be, me, I've got you now. So it's safe for you to feel good. So when that inner child starts to feel better and less, because that is where the safety is coming from. It's your inner child telling you, but we were told that we can't do this. So why are we doing this? And that's layers. But you know, you wanting to do this is just proof of going against the tots and the matrix. I think everybody here wants to go against that. Like, we're just so sick of, it says, we're parenting with discernment that taught us, especially in highly sensitive empaths, learning that all of our dreams are valid, attainable, and just some of stepping stones to bring us closer to our soul's purpose. Yeah, it's like, especially those of us that were very sensitive kids, sensitive, happiness and stuff like that. And people were like, you're too happy. That's too much of a dream. Or that's, like you said, your parents were like, you can do anything you want except for that. But I'm like, then don't tell me I can do anything I want. Tell me I can do something safe. Then I'll understand. Learning the boundaries without feeling
Exactly.
shame. Yeah. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Like, it's 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 such a reparenting and redoing the stuff is such a beautiful thing, and it's scary. It's fucking scary, because then it's like we are in charge. And when we're kids, we're not in charge. We're like, oh, there's dinner on the table. So some of us, not, it's not, it's like there's not dinner, or there's this, or some of us don't have that. But like, like these things, and then I think we forget as adults that we, being adulting, I hear this thing, it's like, adulting sucks. Adulting sucks. I gotta do all these responsibilities. I gotta do all this stuff. And then I always want to ask people and be like, okay, so adulting does suck. I mean, in a lot of different ways. We have to be responsible and all this stuff. But also, we are old enough and wise enough to make our own choices. We don't have to worry about someone changing our diaper when we shit, unless we're like 80 years old and someone has to help us. I don't know if that's a good example. We don't have to, if we want to go get the food, we can't. I don't know if that resonates with anyone. Like your state of mind, the way you think about things. And I think a lot of us think about adulting as this horrible, like soul sucking thing. And it very much can be. It very much can be if you let it. If you let it suck the juice and the marrow out of your entire soul being. But if you choose, yeah, it can be fun. Yeah, it can be fun. And you can make things fun. Like literally, you can make things fun. The beauty of being an adult is that you were a kid at one point, and as kids, mostly it was taught to color. It's like, okay, I want to color. The other day, we took some chalk outside and we just drew on the ground like 5-year-olds.
Last night we went to Target to get some kids' blankets
To fit our bed.
to fit our bed, and on the way into Target we skipped.
It was very weird. My body hurt when I skipped. Yeah, freedom to choose your own happiness. Yes. And I think that's one of the things I'm really going to be, teaching with clients or things, or anytime I even talk to people on the street is, it really is about how we choose to interact or perceive things. And the main thing to do with that is deprogram. Deprogram the fuck out of yourself. Deprogram and then reprogram in the fun stuff, because it's going to be hard. It's going to be so hard to just get rid of all of this stuff, especially if we're surrounded by people still, family, friends, coworkers, people that we have been friends with since we were 10 or whatever. All these things, all these other outflight influences, especially when we're trying to, especially when we're trying to do any of that stuff, And so here we are as adults trying to reprogram. And sometimes that's why we have to cut ties with certain people or certain situations, or like Amy, she wants to live out here. I think living out here, job, it's like, yeah, you do your job, probably could do it anywhere, but wouldn't it be more fun out here? And that's a choice as an adult person that you get to make, to move your ass somewhere else. You don't have to wait for your parents to be like, all right, it's time to move again. I don't want to move. Well, you don't have a choice. It's like, oh, okay. It's, all of this is just, so amazing to figure out, and also so frightening and so hard. And I'm not going to sit here and tell the people who are watching this replay or people who will see this in 10 years from now that this is easy, because it's not. None of this is easy. There are days I am on the floor completely. I can't even move my hands because I have completely shut down from fear. I am completely shut down. Walking. I'm starting to walk again. And my whole butt cheeks will seize up while I'm walking. And it's like, I used to be able to walk all the time like there's no thing. I mean, now my butt cheeks are just seizing. And the thing that I'm doing is I'm doing it anyway. I can go to bed and it's like, oh God, today was today. And then I'd be like, okay, you know what? Tomorrow's a new day, not future tripping. I'm just like, it's a new day. I'm going to go to bed. And I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do it again. And I'm gonna do it anyway, because each time I did it anyway, I got closer and closer to where I wanted to be. Maybe not at the pace that I want. And I think that's another thing we're taught. If you're not fast enough, if you're not strong enough, if you're not do this because like other people around, you know, then you're failing. Then you're not good enough. Right back to the circle of life. I mean, you're not good enough. And the truth is you fucking are. You are good enough. And that's it. And the work is doing the deprogramming to get to that core of that I'm not good enough, eradicating that, and then planting in the new thing of I am good enough. And when you plant that in there, which is what we're going to do today, we're going to rip it and we're going to plant it. What's going to start happening is that it's going to start growing and it's going to start leaking into all these other areas of your life. And so as it starts leaking into other areas of the life, you're still going to be things. Obviously, life is life. It's still going to come up. But what you'll notice, which I'm noticing, is that the more I go forward, the more chances it gives me to see that I am worthy, to see that I am okay, to see that I can go forward. And as painful as it is, and as tough as it is, that putting that I am worthy, and this is something you're probably going to have to tap on more than once. It's, and that's totally fine, because I feel like when you plant the seed, like we're going to do today, when plant the seed, each time that you tap on it, that you're worthy, what you're doing is watering it. You're giving it nutrients, because with tapping, it does, eradicate stuff, but you are just solidifying this belief. Therefore, as let's say we tap today, we're like, I'm enough. And then tomorrow you wake up, I'm not enough. And then you tap again on that. What that is pulling out the weeds that are kind of choking this new little baby plant of this new little thing that's happening. So I see it like that, because I've used to get frustrated and be like, why am I tapping on this again? I already did this again. And I think it just came to me right now with that, where it was like, we did plant it, but the thing is, it's such this little tiny baby. And it's getting choked out by all the other weeds and stuff that we have to do. And sometimes telling the weed that I'm good enough, and that just disintegrates that weed, therefore makes more room for everything to grow and to expand into, whatever it's supposed to be. So I am wondering, is everyone ready to tap? Tap it in or tap it out, or tap. Yeah, we're going to do tap in and tapping out. Okay. So I would love for you guys to drink water, please. If you have water. Yeah. I know I have some more water. I should probably drink some regular water. Yeah. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to mute everyone through the tapping, because I am recording it. But Larry will be tapping after me, so I'll have it where I can have a replay here, an echo. So you will hear him. But if you cannot keep up with me as fast as, that's fine too. I am just, just follow me, do the points. If you've never tapped before, literally just follow me, and it's gonna be good. So are we all ready? Let's do the hand thing. Yeah, we're doing the energy thing. Warming the hands together. All right. We're gonna start at the side of the hand, and all you have to do is repeat after me. I have believed for so long
I have believed for so long
even if I wasn't aware
even if I wasn't aware
that I am not good enough,
that I am not good enough,
that I'm not strong enough,
that I'm not strong enough,
I'm not fast enough,
I'm not fast enough,
I'm not pretty enough,
I'm not pretty enough,
I'm not masculine enough,
I'm not masculine enough,
I'm just not enough.
I'm just not enough.
And this belief has leaked into
And this belief has leaked into
so many other areas of my life.
so many other areas of my life.
And I know that this did not come from me.
I know that this did not come from me,
Because when I was little, I didn't feel this way.
because when I was little, I did not feel this way.
I remember being confused of why I had to feel this way.
I remember being confused as to why I had to feel this way.
But I was a kid, and so I kind of just took it.
But I was a kid, and so I kind of just took it.
We're taught that our parents or caregivers
We were taught by our parents or our caregivers
that they're right.
that they're right.
And sometimes questioning gets us in trouble.
And sometimes questioning gets us in trouble.
So I unknowingly
So I unknowingly
solidified the belief down to a cellular level
solidified the belief down to a cellular level
that I'm just not good enough.
that I'm just not good enough.
And I'm just not enough.
And I'm just not enough.
And I have lived with this for far too long.
And I have lived with this for far too long.
And I'm choosing to let this go.
And I am choosing to let this go.
So even though I've held on to this for longer than needed,
So even though I've held on to this for longer than needed,
I still choose to deeply and completely
I still choose to deeply and completely
love and accept and forgive myself anyway.
love and accept and forgive myself anyway.
And I give and I give myself permission to grow.
And I give myself permission to grow.
All right, deep breath in, hold it at the top, and let it go. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to tap it out. And I get sometimes a little aggressive. I like to cuss a little. But it's going to be good. So we are going to rip out that, and we are going to plant a little tiny seed. Some of us already planted some seeds, so we're maybe watering seeds, whatever. And we're just going to do that. So you guys ready? All right. Top of the head. I have believed for way too long
I have believed for way too long
that I am not enough.
that I am not enough.
And this has prevented me
And this has prevented me
from doing so many things I want to do,
from doing so many things I want to do,
even down to picking out what meal I want.
even down to picking out what meal I want.
I'm so tired of it
And I'm so tired of it
because deep down,
because deep down,
I know that I am enough.
I know that I am enough.
But there's been so much programming,
But there's been so much programming,
so much outside influences
so much outside influences
that it literally made me believe
that it literally made me believe
that I wasn't enough.
that I wasn't enough.
And I consciously or unconsciously
And I consciously or unconsciously
made that my identity,
made that my identity,
made that who I was.
made that who I was.
But today,
But today,
I am choosing
I am choosing
to eradicate this belief from my body,
to eradicate this belief from my body,
from my mind,
from my mind,
from my DNA,
from my DNA,
and wherever fucking else it is.
and wherever fucking else it is.
Because the truth is,
Because the truth is,
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough to accomplish every dream I want to do.
I am enough to accomplish every dream I want to do.
I am enough to make all the money I want to make,
I am enough to make all the money I want to make,
to make the moves I want to make,
to make the moves I want to make,
because I am in charge of myself.
because I am in charge of myself.
And that's the truth.
And that's the truth.
So I release this old ass story,
So I release this old ass story,
this old ass limiting belief
this old ass limiting belief
that I'm not enough.
that I am not enough.
It is gone,
It is gone,
disintegrated,
disintegrated,
because I choose to have it go.
because I choose to have it go.
Because I am in charge of everything
Because I am in charge of everything
that involves me.
that involves me.
So I deeply and completely
So I deeply and completely
love and accept and forgive myself.
love and accept and forgive myself.
And I accept the new belief,
And I accept the new belief,
the new identity
the new identity
that I absolutely am enough.
that I absolutely am enough.
And I'm going to give myself a lot of fucking grace,
I give myself a lot of fucking grace,
because this is not an easy road,
because this is not an easy road,
but it's a road that I am choosing to go on.
but it is a road I am choosing to go on.
It is a road I'm choosing to embody,
It's a road I am choosing to embody,
because I am enough.
because I am enough.
And I am so grateful for the opportunity
And I am so grateful for the opportunity
to be able to live the enough life.
to be able to live the enough life.
So once again,
So once again,
I choose to deeply and completely
I choose to deeply and completely
love and accept and forgive myself
love and accept and forgive myself
through this whole beautiful reprogramming I just did,
for this whole beautiful reprogramming I just did.
because I'm 100% worthy.
Because I am 100% worthy.
And so it is.
So it is.
Take a deep breath in, hold it at the top, and let it go. You can shake it. I don't know, whatever you guys do. Shake it, get some hair, the disco balls and throw them. I that
It's
was
a busy.
amazing. Holy, okay, that was fire. Roxanne, oh my god, how are you guys feeling? So good. New identity, bitches. It's beautiful. Oh God, and the biggest thing I love to do with my tappings is throw in I choose. I feel like as adults, and saying that we choose, like sometimes saying that I love myself, sometimes saying these things is good. And we're like, yeah, but putting the I choose, it's just like when someone's like, I need you to go do this, or can you go do this? Now, what do you want to do? Of course I can help you. I don't want to do it for you. So your body and your mind, I feel, is more acceptable to be like, I'm choosing to do this. So it's like, okay, we're gonna, get onto that or whatever. And I just feel like what we did today, just this little tiny tapping, is just gonna really help you guys just, you know, so what it oh yeah, tapping placement does not matter. I mean, within reason. I mean, there, I feel like there's within reason, but like as long as you're tapping on the points, and I always tell people too, if it feels good to you, like some people like to do it this way, some people like to do it this way. If that feels better, does it feel better like this? Does it feel better with one hand? I have some friends who like to use the whole hand. You know, like some people like to just, I don't know. You know, I feel like it you do what makes you feel comfortable and good because, you know, unlike with acupuncture having to go right into the thing, this is more of a somatic thing. And the body will tell you what to do. The body will tell you what feels good on tapping. Sometimes people can't do mobility. And sometimes it hurts to do that spot, or whatever. You know, do another spot that you like better, stuff like that. What the point is doing the work, doing the tapping, saying the things, and getting it through to that subconscious mind, that subconscious thing inside of you. And, you know, really, you know, so like that. Yeah, no, I feel like you can't do this wrong. Some people say you can do wrong. I just feel like you can't do it wrong if you go in with the intention to change what you're doing and to remember to say that you love and accept yourself anyway, or love and accept and forgive yourself, love, accept, forgive yourself anyway, choose to love. Any of these statements, any of these things, as long as you go in and you just really try to get it out, I feel like, I think the only wrong way to do it maybe would be maybe not being specific enough. But that too, sometimes, you know, starting out on specific will open up more specifics and then your brain will start reeling. That's why I like to do things a little bit more intuitively. I also encourage people who like to free write. If you free write better, you like get this whole thing down, tap it out, read it out loud, and tap on the points while you do it. Like it's such a simple little thing to do that you can use in so many things, and I just love it so much. I love it. So is there any questions? Anything else? Anybody have anything? You want anybody to say anything? You're so welcome, Amy. You and your disco balls forever. Anyone else have any questions or want to say anything? I am open for that.
Oh, no, I'll let you know real quick on Virginia's Instagram page. She does have a video that shows all of the points.
Yes.
If you're ever not sure about it.
Yeah, and so it's a way that I do them.
Yeah.
And you can use one hand, two hands. If you have more than three hands, I don't know.
I forgot this one, and interestingly, so I did tell you about it, but because I was on my lunch when I did that, and I think I was like right after I talked to you, and I didn't listen to my intuition right away. Like my intuition was saying like do it right now, and I was like no, sleep first, and then kind of slept a little bit, woke up refreshed enough, and then I started doing it, and I just felt like it was a miracle I remembered, but at the same time I noticed I skipped it because as I was going in, I was like, oh, I didn't do this part, and then I didn't do this one
Yeah,
at all,
and
and then tap right here.
sometimes just do whatever your body will tell you. I think
Yeah.
people in here will tell you what your body will let you know, which I've noticed sometimes people will close their eyes and they'll get stuck at one spot. And I think that's because your body is like, that's what's connected to something. Yeah. 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 So it's like, I think it's really about, you know, just being conscious of what you're doing. If you're feeling too dizzy or stuff like that, you know, or whatever. But I think it's just about being intuitively with your body. Your body will let you know. I'm a big body person. I'm a big intuition person, and your body will let you know, um, you know, what is right. And if you skip points, you're fine. That too. Like it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. It's just what you're saying. Say, yeah. So thank you guys so much for coming to my class today. This was really fun. My experience. I'm gonna fix this to my experience, my EFT experience, and I'm just so grateful to even be able to do this. And I'm going to be doing more. I really like the Zoom format. Do it from the comfort of my own home and stuff like that. So there'll be more to come, but this was the one I wanted to do first to implant into like I'm enough, and then we just grow from that. So all right, everyone, have a great afternoon. And if you have any questions, DM me. I also do personal stuff too. I do a personal one-on-one, there we go, and stuff like that. I also do recorded videos too, where you can tell me you can do it. So, and I mean, really, I'm just so grateful that I learned this tiny tool and I can change the whole world with it. Yay! So, all right, everyone, have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Bye, guys.